Lily, how you guys doing?
Good. How are
Good.
you,
How are
Mike?
you?
Good, good. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to have a different podcast with both of you on it, since to me you guys started handball at the same time, but you're like polar opposites when it comes to handball. You have Lily that's upbeat and excited to always see someone, and you have Dawn who's the same, no matter
Peace life.
if you win or you lose, it doesn't matter. There's no different emotions.
Hey, there's a smile on my face right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
I
get
think it's an old Kona thing, John.
she just has a fake picture up there. First of all, you might interrupt each other, but that's fine. A little bit of a background of how you guys got involved into handball before you guys got to the provincial team.
John, you can go first.
Okay, cool. I was gonna go first anyways. So for me, I actually played badminton beforehand, and for like during the school seasons, right? Badminton and handball were always going on at the same time, so I had to choose. And then I quit quit badminton before like grade 11. So my grade 11 year, I didn't want to play school badminton anymore. So then my friends from the basketball team told me to try out for the handball team instead. And
And was that, did you know anything about handball at that point?
no, first time even hearing about it.
Oh.
Like I never encountered it in gym class, like in anywhere. So
Maybe give a brief little bit of what kind of school you went to, though.
so I went to Old Scona. It's a very academic school where like it's all just focused on like your marks and like how you do like academically. Our sports teams aren't that strong, and there's only like a select few who actually play sports. So like throughout the sports teams, you kind of just see the same faces all around.
And how's your gym?
We don't have a gym actually. We have to use a gym of like either like a church or like depending on like what other sports we play, like maybe like Kinsman that we're close to.
Yeah.
Or like outdoor skating rink or something like that. So like for an indoor gym, we use actually like a church that's just down the block.
Lily?
I started playing also through high school. It was so my volleyball coach in grade 10, she just kind of said, hey, I think you'd be good at handball, come try it in grade 10. And I was very god-awful in grade 10. I think I shot the ball maybe 3 times. I think I touched 2 people all season. And then grade 11, I guess, like I went into it and it kind of just clicked. And then that's when I got invited to try out for the provincial team. So I did provincial team, and I think I also played club volleyball that year.
Oh.
And then in grade 12 was when I actually ended up quitting club volleyball and just committing entirely to handball.
Who was your coach for volleyball?
Her name's Rochelle Williams.
Oh, okay.
She coaches at Page now.
Yeah, she coaches at Page. Okay, so she was your volleyball coach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. So when you guys were playing high school, do you guys remember playing each other at all?
Not in grade 10. After I met Dawn, yes, because she would take me out and then I'd take her out again.
Yeah.
But not in grade 10.
I didn't play in grade 10, I only started in grade 11. So I do remember
Perfect.
playing Lily, yeah.
Yeah. And who else was in your kind of generation? Like, who were the best teams at that time?
Still Ainley.
Yeah, I would say Ainley.
It was with Ireland, Jenna, Amanda, that group?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started playing though, like I was playing against like the old players. Like I was still playing against like Yuki, and then I can't remember her name, but she's brunette. She played volleyball too. Like she coached me at volleyball camp.
Jocelyn Peters?
No,
I
know her too
Corbett?
though.
Corbett?
Sorry?
Something Corbett?
No.
Not Tori Corbett, an Aaron Corbett or something, no?
No, I think her name started with like an M or something. Like I think it was like Melina or something.
Oh, Ainley. Oh, yeah. She didn't go to Ainley. She went to McNally and played for Ainley.
Oh, well, yeah, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
I know
distinctly
who you're
remember
talking
her.
about. Yeah,
But,
it's Melina, yeah. And when it comes to high school, what kind of results did you guys have?
Todd can go first. Mine will be quick.
We were always we always made it to tier 2 provincials, and then I think through both years actually we ended up getting silver in provincials.
Yeah, you guys had that big rivalry with Malay.
Like both years we lost to them.
Yeah, but that was the group of Malay that were all provincial team players, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of tough. And Lily, what about you?
I think in my whole entire high school career, I think I won 3 games. I have never played it at provincials.
You never qualified.
No,
That's funny.
never.
So what made you guys want to play Alberta? What was it about the sport or the teams that made you decide to play, and who recruited you guys?
Well, you want to
Haven
go?
recruited me.
Haven recruited you?
Mm-hmm. And then I think it was just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Don.
Oh, so you can go.
No, it's okay.
All right. Mark recruited me, I think, at a Lillian tournament.
Oh, the Osborne Cup or whatever?
I think so, yeah.
You can keep going, or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. I think just what really drew me to it was just that it was like so different. I had a lot of fun when I played in grade 11, kind of after I figured out what handball actually was, and I guess how to actually shoot a ball and maybe hit somebody once in a while. But I think it was so different, and then it was just like a combination of everything that I just wanted to join it. And then yeah, I almost didn't even go to tryouts or even just like go to inner zones or anything, just because I was the only girl from Shep that got invited to go, and I just didn't want to be by myself. So I was like texting my friends all day, like, do I go? I'm already here, but should I just ask my mom to pick me back up again? Like, I was just very nervous my first day.
Yeah. What? Who was your coaches for the youth program?
We both got Haven and Mark.
Yeah.
For Germany.
Yeah, Lily, Haven and Mark were the ones that pushed you to make the team, because, I mean, we've talked about this, but I thought you had the worst attitude, because I think it was the first night, the first day or second day, you're like, I can't make the next week because my brother's moving or something. And I was like, guys, guys, she's lying to you. Guaranteed you cut her. And they're like, no, she's a good player. She has a good attitude. So I apologize for trying to push you to get cut.
That's okay.
Dawn, what about you?
For me, because I played like competitive sports like my entire life, and then up until like grade 11, it was badminton for me. And then after I quit that, I kind of like felt I had really nothing to do, because like I would always like have practices after school, and then when I quit badminton, there was like nothing there. So then when I got like the invite for the provincial team, I decided to just try out, because like it'd be just a cool experience to like play a different sport at such a high level.
Yeah.
And then like
sorry, go on.
I was like kind of like because like my mood is kind of based on like how much exercise I do. So just like it definitely helped me like just stay like more like positive with all like the practices and seeing like all my friends.
Who was before you from your school?
So like before me, as in like handball generations.
Yeah, because we had a bunch of old Skona girls.
Yeah.
You weren't one of the first ones.
No, I think that one of the first ones would be Sarah, Andrea.
Okay.
And like on the guys' side, it'd be like JW.
Ryan Cook.
Randy, yeah. Okay. Frodo.
And then Shauna played with you, correct?
Yeah, Shauna played with me.
Yeah.
My year, yeah.
Okay. So then going on. Sorry?
That was her second year.
Yeah, second year. She wanted to stay a year back. Now going on, obviously we trained. You guys were part of the program that did Germany, Iceland?
Mm-hmm.
So how was your experiences for the first, I mean, both of those trips happened within a 5-month period. A little bit of what your first experiences was, what you liked about it, what you guys did not like about the trips, a little bit of your first kind of experience with Alberta Handball. And you can be honest, don't need to be always, everything was perfect, it's the world's best. Like, you know, you can say good things and bad things.
You want to start, Lily?
Sure, okay. So when we went to Germany, I just thought it was so different. Well, first of all, it was the first time I've ever played on a 40-meter court, like a game, and I was really dead. I really just was dying the whole entire time. And then I think that we were just kind of I guess still learning to play with each other, so it was kind of awkward. And then I had fun most of the time up until Rachel fell into the lake.
Oh, you're a part of that group.
Yeah. We got so scared after that.
You should have.
Yeah.
I still don't believe she fell into the lake.
It wasn't that deep though. Still,
yeah.
To this day.
Yeah, but she didn't fall in.
Yeah, I still don't understand how she went in.
You don't just
I was
walk
there.
and fall into a lake.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
But I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I just like the game wise, I think that a lot of us just weren't comfortable yet with a lot of it. So we were all just kind of like, "Ew," at least like with practice and stuff. I just felt like it was just very not like team oriented, I think. Like everybody was just kind of like, well, I don't want to be here. Like I want to go see things. I personally felt when we were in Germany. And then in Iceland, I think it was a little bit different just because like the younger team was there, the team that went to Norway the first time. So I think that I liked having, I guess, like such a bigger group there. But then again, because we went on different trips, it was also very just like divided, I think, when we went still.
Yeah. Don?
For me, like the Germany trip, it was like very overwhelming just because it was my first time ever being on a trip like for so long, having to like actually like train and then play games. Like it was like very draining, and like it wasn't like the most fun for me, I guess, just because like I just wasn't used to like that like heavy of a workload, I guess. And
Do you guys agree? Do you guys think it's too much, or do you think it's a good way to weed people out that are actually, like you said, Lily, that are there for more of sightseeing and going, I went to Germany?
I think that it was like it's a good volume. I personally think, just like because I think that we just had like a practice in the morning and then we'd have a game at night.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the reason that everybody got so tired was because like we would get up so early, and then almost like a lot of people wouldn't take like the siesta time and like just like take a nap during the day. They'd want to go, okay, well, I want to go do this, I want to go do this kind of thing. So I think that at least like in Iceland, we kind of figured out like, okay, if it's siesta time, take your time kind of thing. So I think that helped us out a lot, but I didn't think it was a lot. Or too
I
much.
think that's important, right? You go from like sports here and then you go there and you're such a routine where it's practice games and people don't know how to take, like you said, it's about learning how to take care of your body in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, like I think it was definitely like looking back on it, it wasn't a lot. Just I guess like I was one of those who didn't really like rest during when I was supposed to, because I was definitely very interested in just like sightseeing in Germany because that was my first time.
Of course.
Yeah, but looking back, like it's not actually that bad, and like it is like a pretty good like way to like see who's actually like willing to commit and who isn't.
Yeah. When we were there, were you guys in the hostel in Lubeck? Was that your guys'
Mm-hmm.
generation where you can just walk 10 minutes and be right into Lubeck?
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was part of your generation? I really don't remember.
Oh.
Like Alicia, Jess Warner, Eden, Shauna, Rachel, Portia.
We had
Tess Petty?
Bianca.
Yeah,
Was
Bianca. Yeah, Tess. Yeah, Tess.
Tess. And we had
Heather.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so if you look back and go, okay, after Germany, well, how were you guys? Were you like, okay, I just want to get Iceland over with? Or were you kind of like more motivated? Because I don't remember, were your results pretty good in Germany?
They weren't bad.
Yeah, they weren't bad, but like it wasn't great either. Like we definitely didn't lose by like a ton. But I don't think we really won a game.
No, I think we did.
We did? Alright.
I think we did. Like it was a close game, but I think we won it. I think it was just the one. But.
Yeah. It definitely made me more motivated though, because like throughout Germany, like I kind of really like got the grasp of like playing handball. I think just like seeing how the German girls play and like doing all the training and the practices and then the games. Like it definitely made me more comfortable playing handball and like maybe more motivated to keep like getting better.
Yeah.
And how do you compare it to Iceland when you guys went to Iceland?
I was more confident going to Iceland. Like I kind of understood like, you know, like the structure of like the weeks and like what was expected of us, like on and off court, and like just like we were more comfortable as a team too. Like we got to know each other, like in Germany and then through the practices until Iceland. So it was like definitely more fun just because like we were more as a team in Iceland.
Yeah.
We just played, I think, like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think just like in Iceland, we played better teams, and we like, for example, like when we played Fram, I remember a lot of those girls were like decently old, like they were older than the girls that we played in Germany for sure. So I think that just seeing that even made us want to try harder when we were in Iceland. And because like again, like Dom was saying, we have the experience from Germany, and then we kind of realized like, you know what, hey, like we're not half bad. And then here we are, like now in Iceland, even like just being able to, the gyms in Iceland too were like so much cooler, especially like at Fram, they had like drums and stuff like that. I think that also, I guess, having the younger teams there, so many more people watching us play, like that also motivated us to do better in Iceland.
It's quite interesting. I mean, obviously you guys are high-level handball players now, but you look back and people that I've talked to, you know, you said something pretty interesting. You said we did play younger teams in Germany and didn't motivate you as much as playing in Iceland players your age. But so many players, when we go to Germany after they lose by 15, 20 goals, are just like they're just done. They don't know how to like fight through it. They're like, I hate this. I thought we were gonna win all the games. It's interesting how you said it, you know, playing teams your age, even if you lose, it motivated you more.
I think that for us at least, like it was different because I don't know if like the teams that have gone after us, like if they've gotten nationals, like youth nationals before that, because I know that like when we were at youth nationals before that, like we actually had a pretty good turnout. Like we got second, we lost to the older girls, which yeah, but like we beat Sask, we beat Manitoba. Like I think that we were kind of realizing like, hey, you know what, like we're pretty good, like we're not terrible. And then plus we heard, I guess, like all the stories of like from Jenna and like Ireland's like their generation saying like, oh, I know, like we got whooped in Germany. So like I think that with us at least, or at least like me going there and then not losing by 110, like I think that was like a win in my head.
Yeah. But the funny thing about Ireland's group is that was the first time we went to Germany, and I mean Olaf and I are really close friends now. But he like put his top team against us first day, and I still remember. I think it was like 74 to like 4, and I'm like, "Can you stop putting the score up?" And they were just all shocked. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was the same for me because like Shauna kind of told me like what happened that first year.
Yeah.
And like it really scared me. But then like when we got to Germany and then like we played, like even though they were like younger, like they were still like more our level at the time. So I definitely like I definitely felt better playing at that level at the time.
So now the program is over, and I mean, as you guys have known now, you've been in handball 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
I think 5.
5 years. Well, I don't know if last year, I don't know, you know, COVID, who knows what it is, but at that time after Iceland, it's a big separation. You have players that are like, okay, I'm going to commit, and then they're with us for a while. And then you have players that are saying, yeah, I don't want this. And I think your group, tell me if I'm wrong, a lot stopped after Iceland? Because didn't you guys go in like Ireland and them for the next trip?
Yeah,
because after that I think was like juniors, but then like the next like youth trip I guess was Swenmark, and I don't think that there was a lot of, I guess, like our generation there. It was like because we mixed with them because like we were of age or whatever, so I think a lot of it was with them mixed.
Lily, people that watch this don't know what Swenmark is, just so you know.
Oh, sorry, Sweden and Denmark.
Okay, so after that, you guys decided to continue. And now at this point, I remember, Dawn, you actually emailed me asking, like, can I come to junior practices? Lily, I think we had a sit down in December and asked you about your volleyball, if it's going to interfere and if you want to come to juniors. What made you guys decide to continue and to push yourself to become better handball players?
I kind of fell in love with like playing handball through like my first year, like the Germany Iceland trips. Just because I think it was like the perfect sport for me because like there was a lot like running, a lot of explosiveness, a lot of like maneuvers, like, and there was contact too, which like wasn't in like any of the sports I've played before, and I just kind of really fell in love with all the different aspects that handball has. And so then that was like I think my grade 12 year, and I actually like thought, because my mom has been pretty harsh on me like playing sports through like studying too, and she has told me that like once I've hit university that I have to quit all my sport, like all the sports I do. So that was like one of the reasons why I decided to like try out for juniors and practice with the juniors and just get as much like practice and playing time as I could, just because like I know I would miss the sport if once I stopped in university.
So, like, Sweden, Denmark was supposed to be it for you?
Was supposed to, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tom, what about you, Lily?
I think just like what made me pick it over volleyball was just that I was having more fun in it. Like I had made so many new friends, and then I think that one of the biggest things was just like the sense of just knowing, like being a community, I guess, with handball, because it's such a small community. Well, not anymore, but like it was back then, where it's like in club volleyball, it's also like a community, but it's more so like everybody knows of each other. Like you know names, like you recognize names, but like you don't know them. Whereas like here, it's kind of like you get to meet everybody. You get to like be included in everybody with like juniors and stuff. Like you get to meet so many more people. And honestly, just like from youth and seeing, I guess like the elite team play. So like Ireland, Yuki, like the twins, all them. I think it just made me go like, hey, you know what? Like that's pretty cool. I kind of want to play like that. So I kind of decided to put volleyball aside.
So, Sweden, Denmark was your next trip?
I think Auburn was first.
Auburn?
Yeah, Auburn and California for me.
Who went to California?
Just
I
Dawn.
did.
Okay,
Yeah,
you didn't go to Auburn, Don.
I did actually.
You
I went to
both?
both.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you got everything in before you quit, eh?
Yeah.
And Auburn. And then, now, I mean, Auburn's a pretty cool experience. I mean, you get to play the USA national team. Um, how did that go? What'd you guys think of that?
Oh, I was honestly, I went in really intimidated. Um, Even though like we, at least we played the B team.
Yeah.
Even then, like, they've had like,
the B senior team. You guys
yeah,
are
the
all
B.
17 years old at this point.
Yeah, that's also like why I was like pretty intimidated going in, because like they've had like specialized training for so many years being on like the national team, right? Whereas like it was like literally still my first year playing. So like I definitely was like very intimidated going in, but I think like just getting to like once I got into the game playing with my friends, like, I definitely calmed down and kind of just focused on like the game itself, which like really helped me and made it a lot better.
Really?
Dawn really liked the stickum. Can't forget that. Dawn's favorite part was the
boy.
stickum there.
Yeah, when I was allergic to the stickum.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember Suzanne was saying, because it was some different kind of stickum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
had
was like
to
that brown nasty stuff.
I had to take a reactant before each game.
So now, I mean, you're going in now. You went to Germany, Iceland, Auburn, Dawn, California, Sweden, Denmark. What are some of the, your first full year? I mean, 3-4 international trips. What are some of the big memories from those the first year of handball?
I think for me, because I think that was the year, if I'm not mistaken, is that the year that we had like 8 people at nationals when we hosted it in Millennium? Was that year, or was that a different year? I can't remember.
Ireland. You guys, Shauna,
That's a
Tesketty.
super small team, though, right?
Yeah. But the problem is we didn't want to add more players to it because it was like we were so strong that time. Yeah, but that's the year.
Yeah, I think that my favorite time, like memory from that year, was probably winning nationals, because I had never won a nationals before, and it was just like so great. And then I remember that team because we literally had like 8 players, but then we had 3 goalies.
Yeah,
I distinctly remember that year.
because we had 3 Alberta teams, and we're talking to the goalies. None of them wanted to play on the second or third team. So I told them, like, hey, well, then it's 3 goalies. So like, yeah, we'll split time.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Don?
I think for me, like that year, it was just like nonstop handball, and I think that was my favorite part, where I just kept going and like kept getting better, kept practicing, kept playing, going to tournaments after tournaments, and like just making new friends and like solidifying those friendships. Because like that's the year we also mixed with like the generations above us, right, into juniors.
Yeah.
And then elite with like Ireland in them.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, those like I think like it's just like the whole thing, like overall, it was like just one of my favorite memories.
So then, how did you continue to play in the second year? Like, what happened for you to continue?
I actually like convinced my mom that like, well, we had a requirement if my marks drop below a certain like
Okay.
grade, then I would have to quit handball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kept maintaining those grades. So that's why like I'm still playing.
That's
But
good.
yeah.
So it's still to this day, if your grades go below, you're done?
Yeah.
Oh. Thanks for letting me know that now. Uh, so now it's been 3-4 years. Obviously, you've traveled the world. Do you guys have some memories of your favorite trip, or do you have a favorite trip?
Mm, John can go first. I need to think.
Jeez.
Do you have a favorite nationals? And then you can think about the trip.
I think
Yes,
the
my.
favorite.
Oh, go ahead, John.
You told me I could go first.
I know. And then he asked another question. I was like, oh, here I come. But that's okay.
My favorite nationals would have to be, I don't remember which year it was, but like we were both at juniors and then senior nationals. I won those both.
In Sherwood Park.
The
No,
back-to-back weekend.
the juniors was in
Millennium.
Spruce Grove.
was in
Spruce Grove.
Spruce Grove and seniors. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite nationals. Because I think that
Mine too.
time, like, our, like, at least for the junior team, like, the team was still, like, decently small team. So, like, we all got, like, a lot of playing time. Just, like, it felt nice playing with, like, all, like, people we've played for so long.
Don, isn't that the year you got hurt at juniors? That girl took a red card on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same year.
And what about you, Lily? Same thing? Is that national?
Yeah, same thing. I just really liked, I guess because we'd never played Quebec before. So like all we heard were like stories about how intense the games are, like how much like heart and like blood, sweat, and tears are like put into those games. And I think that when we played juniors first, it was like our first glimpse into it. And then I think playing with like Janelle, Haven, like all of them, like I think that just kind of like enhanced it, if anything. Like it just made it 10 times more real, like just their emotions they put into the game, like it was just so different. And yeah.
They bring a different world of intensity, that's for sure, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What about international trip?
For me, I would have to say Sweden, Denmark.
If you've only gone once, correct?
Yeah. And I would, yeah, because like just playing in such a big tournament, and like I think it was Sweden,
Yeah.
right? And like playing all the different teams, and like seeing all the different teams play was such a great experience. It's like really eye-opening to see like so many different teams, whereas in Canada, right, there's only like 5 teams like our age.
Well, I think we might be yeah, I won't get into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Lily?
I'm just like, I'm trying to figure it out by like looking at my photos and everything. But I think that my favorite trip to play on, at least, was definitely Sweden, Denmark as well. And then I think my favorite trip to like, I guess, just kind of like be there was probably Myrtle Beach. Like I had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach. Everyone loved Myrtle Beach. Hopefully we can go back there sometime. I love that trip.
I think that the fact that it was like that biker convention just made my experience 10 times better because I got to see all these like cool bikes kind of thing. But
the only thing that pissed me off about that is we should have made the semis. That was pissed me off. But anyways, so what are I mean, you played, both of you guys have won everything. You've won first team all-stars, you've won gold medals. I think neither of you, when you were on the official Alberta team, like I don't think you guys ever lost a game in juniors. What continues to motivate you guys to continue to become better? I mean, you guys are still some of the most committed handball players there is. I mean, you guys are unbelievable handball players. What do you guys still have that makes you want to come to practices? I mean, you guys come to Monday morning practices at 7 a.m. What makes you continue? What motivates you to continue, knowing that most of the time you play, you win?
Do you want
to
I'll go first. Lily? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think one of the biggest things is that we haven't, or at least like I personally, like I haven't won kind of like, we've won a lot in Canada, but like outside of Canada, like we haven't won a lot yet. And I think that's also what like motivates me so much is that US Nationals, like I want to win a US Nationals. Like if we go ever back to like Denmark, because there's that like older age category. I think like I want to win that. I've only ever won, I think, like one international tournament, and that was Paris World Games. But like I definitely want to go out and like I just want to win more like international tournaments, because I think that at least like with most of like the Canada ones like under our belts, I think that like being able to expand and then just kind of keep going off of that, I think is what kind of motivates me to keep going, and just being able to see my friends all the time.
That's a good one.
For me, it's like it's a little bit of what Lily said too, like to like get better results internationally, but also like just every time we go to practice, like there's so much variations in like the drills and like the skills that like you make us practice, that like I realize there's so much more that I'm still lacking on and I can improve on, which like keeps driving me to like I was like come to like those like additional practices, to go to as many practices as I can to like improve my own skills, so that hopefully in the future we can like win more international like titles too.
Well, there's some good news. Is that I've been talking with Marnique. It looks like they're going to move it to May, June.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
perfect.
When
Yeah.
I wrote to him and I said that would be perfect for us. I'm like, if you could move it, we'd have 2 teams, because that doesn't affect any school. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean,
It's
with
gonna be
COVID,
so hot though. Oh, for
yeah,
there in the summer, it's gonna be so hot.
as well, another opportunity could be, if something, is the Denmark tournament, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your, I mean, again, I believe, and I mean, I'm your coach, I might be a little biased, but a lot of people say it. You two are top of the players in Canada at your age by far. I mean, with Ireland and with Jenna, Amanda, all the girls from Alberta. I mean, you've seen it at your age in Canada. There's no one like you guys in this country. If you play any province in the country at your age, I mean, playing your age, it's not even close. What are some of your personal goals still left that you want in handball?
John, you can go first.
um I want to like, one of my goals is to keep playing and progressing with like the Alberta team right now, but I have another goal that I want to like, I guess like play more on like the national team.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and like instead of, because like I think I was on the B team. I think I want to try to like make the starting team for Team Canada,
That's good.
and then
Wait,
play like more international games that way too.
so is a goal here to try to make the 2023 Pan Am Games?
Yes, if I can continue playing that long, yeah.
And why wouldn't you be able to continue?
um
Dr. Don.
Come on. Yeah, I'm applying for med school, and like I do want to go get in. So, but like if I do make it into medical school, like I think juggling medical school with handball, especially if I do want to play on the national team, would be very hard and maybe kind of unlikely at first. So I'll have to see like how it all goes before, yeah, I can
So is
actually
it
decide.
something,
But
if you get into medical school, you're going to stop handball, or you're going to see if you can make it work first before you decide?
I'm gonna see if I can make it work first before I decide. Like I don't want to completely stop handball. I still want to like do some practice, like play in the league. But I don't think, if it doesn't work, I don't think I'll be able to like play like at the national level or like the international level with medical school.
Yeah. A lot of girls I coach when I coach the national team were becoming doctors. It just, again, I think it all depends on timing of tournaments, eh?
Yeah,
It
it
affects
really does.
schooling. And the thing in Pan Am qualifier, or whatever the new NACH, or whatever, the North American Caribbean, I don't know what it's called. But
Norca.
Norca or something. It's mostly in June, the qualifiers for Worlds.
Yeah,
What
I
about you?
might be able to. Well, we'll have to see how the timing works out by then. Yeah.
Yeah, you try to do the best you can, see if you can make it. A perfect example is Jill Maya. She still plays. Isn't she becoming a doctor?
She did get in.
She got in.
She got in, I'm pretty sure.
What about you, Lily?
I think one of my biggest goals, like it's a little far-fetched right now, but like obviously for the first step going towards that is like I also want to play in like a Pan Am Games, just because like seeing Janelle and Haven's like their experiences from it, like it looks so cool. I think it'd be like such a great experience, and then obviously like we're a little far from it right now, but like I definitely like kind of want to try to play in the Olympics one day if I'm still able to walk by then, but
Yeah, your body's breaking down these days.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So with like you say, it's a long fetch. Why is Pan Am Games like far fetched?
Just because like it's so far away right now, and I think that just like I have so much more to learn, like I have so much more to like mature as a handball player, like a lot more, I guess, like handball knowledge that I need to take in first, like be able to see the court better a little bit, just like overall just kind of like tweak the little things before I can obviously look at playing something like that, I think.
So a question. I don't know if you'll answer this or not, but what position do you think you're suited to be on the national team?
I really want to play right back. Just when I play center back a lot, I just feel very like I just panic sometimes. But like when I'm a right back, I just feel like I don't know, in a way just like I belong a little bit better. I just fit in a little bit better just because I'm not as scared to do things in a way, I feel like.
Because you don't want to be the center of the offense, kind of.
I just don't want to have so much control over something because then when I have control over things and like if something's not going well, then like I kind of take it and like I take it very hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also don't entirely just like to be the center of the offense, I guess.
It's interesting, and I'm not trying to bring up anything like that, but the first time that I really noticed that in your game was Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were the vet on our team because Janelle was hurt, so she only played a few minutes. But you saw that like when you become the focal point, you don't play as easy as you do while you're just part of the game. And that's where I really
Mm-hmm.
noticed it was in Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
I
know.
just feel like,
Go on.
sorry?
Go on.
I just feel like there's so much just more like pressure on me in a way, and just that there's just so many more things that I have to do and just like think about when I'm a center back, just being able to like when you move the ball, like if find the overload, but then do I have to shoot now or do I have to do a one-on-one now? And just like there's just so much more to think about
Yeah.
when you're a center back. And I feel like when I'm a right back a lot of the time, I just don't entirely like need to think as much because I just up the court attack and like either go to the one hole as I always like or give it to like the wing to shoot. So I just personally think that like there's just not as much pressure or like stress on me when I'm a right back. So I play a little bit more like laid back, a little less scared kind of thing.
Yeah, but when you play at a Pan Am Games, the pressure is always on.
Yeah.
Don, what do you think is your position to play?
I think left back.
Yeah.
I did play both, and like center back was really like it was a lot of pressure and kind of stressful, just because like with the national team they also like they have different plays. They have like a different system, and it was like really stressful like knowing like which plays to use, like when to just attack, like when to like do this play. As like left back, I kind of just felt like all I had to do really was attack like properly and like pass it off or shoot.
Uh,
So like yeah, like Lily said, like it's definitely like less stressful, and I think I like feel more at ease playing left back. But I don't mind center back too.
But the interesting thing is, Tyrell and I talked about this. Your team and club, the HC2, you make everybody around you so much better as center back. That game against us, I don't know if you watched it, everything came from you. Everybody that scored came from you. Like when you look at it, you're so important to that team, but it also helps you become a way better handball player because you understood what you needed to do against the 4-2 defense, and you broke it down really well. Tyrell even came up. He's like, holy crap, Don is an amazing handball player. He didn't stop talking about you after that game.
Thanks.
It's true. So I'm like, really? Like, obviously, I think you're an amazing handball player. But then I went back and watched the game Like we break down the game with our team, and it was pretty incredible what you did in that game and how much better you make everyone else around you. So my opinion is, again, at different levels, it's different, but a national team, I think, a center back. And Lily, I think for you, it's center back, right back. It just, I know the pressure, but I think it's super important that you have to work through that pressure, and it's part of growing as a player.
Yeah.
So last year we were quite successful. We went to Germany. I don't know if you guys noticed, like I posted something last year, yesterday, we were in Berlin.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I got the memory
Yeah.
on my Snapchat too.
And then we went to California. We beat some of the best teams in the States. We were preparing for USA Nationals, but then the issue was
my eyebrow open. Yeah.
you cut your eyebrow open. But we were peaking in February. I mean, Lily, you went to Martinique with a lot of younger girls. A lot of our younger girls have really grown, and I think we were going to win a national championship. I honestly did. Then the shutdown happened, and I mean, now it's up and down, up and down. Has it affected you guys as handball players? Because I feel as a coach, coming back on everybody, guys, girls, the urgency to become better has changed. The mentality of players has changed. Do you feel that, or am I just crazy?
You're definitely not crazy, because like at least like for me and like what I felt is like there's so much like uncertainty in the air, right? That like it kind of like reflects like how we kind of feel and like think during practices. Like we're not as motivated, even though like you kind of like we do have that Martinique trip to like look forward to, like, but we're still not sure like whether we can like even go there yet, right? So there's just so much uncertainty that like we're not sure like what to do, and like we're also sometimes hesitant to come to like practices and stuff, just because like all like the cohorts all gets all meshed in like such a big practice from like just individual cohorts, right? So like we're like that uncertainty is kind of trickles into like practices where we're just like maybe not as like intense before and like not as like motivated as before, because there's just so much unknown.
But just hold on, just in case people hear, we don't break any rules in cohorts.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we have our own cohort for handball, but it's like it's like who each individual person also like maybe contacts like in their everyday life.
The problem is, like, when you look at our group, you have a crazy amount of girls that are in high school, so they're all in school, right? And then I even talked to them about, like, you have Haven, who's a teacher. Then I'm like, guys, you got to be careful, because if there's a close contact, Haven has to be out of school for 2 weeks. And all that stuff is scary. What about you, Lily?
I think for me, it's also like kind of what Dawn said. There's just like so much uncertainty in the air right now. Like we're working towards a trip right now, but it could literally be taken like that. And just like if the cases just go rising and just like the second wave's happening right now, I guess. But like if it just gets so bad, it could just get taken away so much. I think that coming back this season for me, it's just like because I was off, I guess. I want to say like it feels like I was off for longer just because leading up to Martinique, like I was out with my shin, like I was resting like leading up to Martinique so I could go and play in Martinique. We played and then we came back and like I was still out, and then at the beginning of the summer, like I had to lay off of it a lot. Like I couldn't do a lot of like high impact exercises, so like it was really hard for me, I think, to just like come back and just go full blast right back into it. And then again, like yes, Martinique is there still with like what Dawn said, but yeah, like it get taken away so quickly. So I think just like not knowing, because we saw it firsthand last year, like how quick everything could just get shut down and canceled. I think that like that's what's making everybody so like hesitant, because they're like, I don't want to put in all of this work and just have it get taken away from me again like that.
Yeah, and I agree 100%, because even me as a coach, it's like the ups and downs. Even like, you know, with the younger ones, I have breakdown of the games, a bunch of different things, and then we're getting ready to play HC1, and we have a game plan, we have practices, and then boom, okay, you're done for 2 weeks, but is it only 2 weeks? No one knows, right? You don't know anything, and I think like that's why it was so important for me to like set some trips at least, even if it was there, because even for me as a coach, and I know players, you have to see like a goal. Yes,
Yeah.
like you guys said it perfectly. Yeah, I know you guys. You guys, the older ones, Haven, Janelle, Ireland. Even if there was never another game, you guys would come to the gym and you would practice as much as you can to be the best you can be, no question. But
Mhm.
it's that urgency to become better because you know something is there. And I think that's why, like, I'm like, okay, well, if we can do it and it's all safe, then we're gonna go to this place. And I think it's
I
Yeah.
think
that's why I'm so like I want to at least have a plan, and then if we have to push it back, but at least there's something to look forward to. And like you
Yeah.
said, with COVID, it's you don't know, you have no clue.
yeah, and also just adding on to what you just said, Mike, like just even coming back, like just from like a physical standpoint, where like when everything was halted, like I couldn't go to the gym,
Yeah.
I like only had like basically like body weight and just like whatever I could find around the house to do like exercises and running outside. Like it really took a toll on just like my physical fitness, I guess.
Yeah.
And coming back, like I like because of like just how unknown everything is, like I've also like kind of felt like I've been slacking off on like getting back into like my training and my like running and like weightlifting. It's
Yeah.
almost as if it's like what's really the point, right? Because we're not sure what trips are gonna go on, or like what's gonna happen to all the sports. Like, is it gonna keep getting shut down, or is it gonna be able to like continue longer?
Yeah, and I agree with you
Mhm.
guys like 100%. It's that it's like just no one knows. And my big goal is I think like when we started, you saw it like when you guys were in a different cohort and there was 7 seniors at it because you guys couldn't practice with Katie and all them because of they were playing in the 19 and under league. You saw that there wasn't a lot of motivation in you guys. But I mean,
Mhm.
it's not your fault. It's just like again, okay, we're training, but what are we training for? And
Yeah.
like in your, like a lot of those girls started May 12th. But the problem is, before we were able to set things up, you guys were playing a different sport. So it's like, well, I paid $300 to play here. I'm not gonna lose the money to go. So I mean, everything's up in the air. But like, at least I'm hoping to like. That's why when I talked to the lady yesterday and she said we might move it to May, June, I'm like, that gives us a lot of time. I mean, spring, summer, the cases will go down, the vaccine, and it's about us having goals and that because even Canadian nationals, they're like not even talking about it. And so they're like you're saying, like there, but in the States, USA Nationals, I think it's going to happen around August. But again, who knows if we want to go in the States in the next 2 years.
Mhm.
So who knows? It's all about the vaccine and stuff. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Sorry, just like one more thing, like going based off of, I guess, like motivation and everything. I think that this season, especially, just because like our gym time is so limited, like now we're using the days that we would practice like for the league and the games because we're not getting as much as we did before. I think that also like it's hard for us to motivate each other like we did before because like last season or like these like the seasons that I've played so far with like the older girls and I guess like now I'm a part of the older girls, but like with everybody we were
Yeah.
seeing each other like Monday mornings, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, like, and then the odd like Saturday, Sunday. But now that our gym time is so limited because we're sharing with the league, like, I think that it's so hard because we're not there to motivate each other. Like, okay, like, we'll see you on Thursday. It'll be a better day on Thursday. Or even like, I know that a few years ago, like, we were going on team runs before, what's it called? Before nationals. And like now, because of all the restrictions in place, like, it's so hard to do all of these things and just like be there for each other kind of thing.
It's hard to be a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
agree 100%. The funny thing is, I had a talk with Haven 3-4 days ago. Is like the younger ones, a lot of them we practice in Millennium Place. But the problem with you guys is there's no stickum there, and it's like we're like
Mm-hmm.
it's better for some of you guys not to practice not have stick them. But I mean, I agree 100%. And, that's a big thing why I wanted to put the youth in the league was just to be able to, I know there's always that I do coach you guys, but I know like you guys don't want to lose to a team that I coached as well. And I don't want you guys to beat a team I coach. So at least that gives us a little more of a rivalry to like, okay, guys, we got to come ready to play this team because like, again, I remember playing AC2 dawn before the game. I'm just watching and she's like, they're going to play this. We got to do this. We got to do this. And then right after that game, I sent out a plan of how to play 3-3, 3-2-1, different defenses. So like to start changing it up because every team is like, okay, they're going to do this against us. So
Yeah, we don't want to lose.
Of course, it's.
We don't like to lose. We know that. We
Yeah.
don't like to lose.
Oh, exactly. But like that's why I'm hoping that we can like May, June, I feel confident by then. I mean, even like there's going to be vaccines that are coming out here shortly, but I think things are going to be a lot better by then. And then
Yeah,
again,
hopefully.
yeah, hopefully and stuff like that, and we'll see what happens. But even I got a text after a shutdown, and someone said to me, I just got a text from a random person. Well, he plays handball, but not on a provincial team. He goes, "Why don't you just pay everyone $1?" And I was like, "Why?" Well, then you're professional players. Then you're allowed to train.
Oh.
So I was like, "Well, that's true, right?" I was like, and then like parents have wrote to me and said, "How come junior hockey can play? Aren't you guys high level handball players?" So I even contacted Commonwealth Stadium and said, "Why can't I do individual practice? Like, why can't I have Lily for 45 minutes and then Dawn for 45 minutes?" You know, so trying to find solutions in this time, but I hope that things are going to get better sooner so we can get back.
Yeah.
And last couple of questions. What is some of your best experiences with handball?
I think still like I'm always gonna come back to it just because like it was one of the times where like I guess like our team was kind of on top of the world. It was like the junior senior like the when we won back-to-back weekends because I think like that year as a whole like that everybody was like we were all like best friends, like we were all like a family, everybody was seeing each other, we were doing like I think we did like Christmas that year or something like that, and then just being able to like win with them even just 2 weekends in a row, like a lot of them, I think just brought us all so close, and then just also being very extra sore after brought us close together. But I think just again like with the intensity that all of like the seniors brought like to the court like really kind of got us to like, hey, like smarten up, like this is a different game now, which I think like changed me as a person even.
I think for me, the first thing that actually comes to mind is when we played in Denmark. I was able to play with like the older girls in like the indoor court. I think that was the first time like I played with like Janelle. I think Haven was also playing. I think honestly that was like one of my favorite memories because like I finally got to play with them, and it was just such a different like level of like handball that I wasn't used to, but it was such a good experience for me to play at that level.
Do you guys think that you learned a lot from playing with the older girls at a younger age? Do you think that's really beneficial for younger players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely like sets like a standard for you, and like you can use them as like role models to like look up to and try to achieve like their level and like hopefully like beat them one day.
And so,
Yeah, it's like
go on.
sorry.
No, go
It's
on.
like when we were playing, you'd see like Janelle like hit somebody really hard on defense, and you see her like all pumped up, and you're like, okay, I want to do that. And then just like seeing, I know for me especially because like Taylor played right back too. Just like when I first started, I guess playing with the juniors, I was very scared of Taylor, and everybody was like, "You're scared of Taylor?" And I said, "Yes," but I was like, she was just like I looked up to her so much just because like I would see all the different things that she would do, and then in a way like I guess I would try to do those things too, and then yeah, just like a big thing was just seeing their attitudes, like especially Janelle was a really big influence on me just because of like her attitude on the court. She's like put somebody on their butt, and then like she will stand over them and high five you, and just like that mentality just really stayed in my mind.
Yeah, I think like playing like practicing with them, like also like you can kind of like almost like compete with them in practices to like kind of judge like how you are, like where you are against them, like how much you've improved.
And how do you guys look now? Now you guys are getting to be the vets with Janelle, Haven, and those girls. Do you see yourselves as leaders and role models for the younger girls that are playing now?
A little bit. I think for me, like I haven't really fully like thought of it in that sense, just because like there's still like Haven and Janelle still playing, and I think like for me, like I still look up to them, and therefore like I'm not ready to be someone else's role model. Like that's kind of what's going through my mind, because like I still have so much to improve.
But do you not think that they look at you guys as role models? Because they do.
I feel like because I don't see it that way. I just see, because I don't know, like, especially with, like, so for example, like Katie, we're pretty close in age, and like I think that she started playing, I think the year after me. So in like, instead of like us compared to Janelle, where it's like she played for years before us, whereas Katie, like, she ended up playing with us like so soon. I feel like a lot of those girls like that, I don't see them looking up to me like that. I see as just kind of like, hey, we're friends, like we're teammates, like kind of thing. Like I don't see myself as a role model to them personally.
Well, just because you don't see yourself as a role model doesn't mean you're not a role model.
I guess.
Well, I'm just saying,
yeah,
like it's interesting that you say that because when they talk about you guys, even Katie, she loves you, especially you two. She loves you guys, and I think like all those younger ones are like, when they talk about Dawn, like how does she jump like that? You're like when they talk about you, Lily, it's about your stem shots and your sidearm and things like that. They talk so highly about you, and I guess it's tough to make that. Am I a role model? Or am I just the same age almost as them?
Yeah.
So like, do you is it competitive? Like, do you still like when you go against Ireland or Haven or Janelle? Are you guys competitive to want to be better than them? And when you look at the younger ones like a Katie or a Cassidy, are you guys really like, I don't want them to become better than me, so I better train harder?
Yeah,
In
for
a sense,
me,
yeah.
yeah. You go.
It just kind of like brings that competitive drive out where it's like, oh, like she has this fake move down, I want to get this fake move down now, and like I'm gonna get like this and like maybe something extra on top of it, because I think that like the way that like it is, because like I know you always talk about how Janelle and Haven, like they're very competitive like that. I think that we're the same way. I think that we've learned their ways kind of thing. Like we've fallen kind of in their path where we're also just like super competitive. We're just like, I want to be the best. If this person's like catching up, like, okay, like it's go time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, like I kind of like, I don't know like if she thinks of this way, but like for like me and Kira during practices, like I like almost like kind of compete with her in my mind at least. Like I'm looking at like what parts like she's doing really good at and like where I can improve and like trying to like just kind of almost like beat her every practice.
Yeah.
Like for me, like it's a good way for me to like work on like aspects I'm not good at and like improve myself. And like, cause like I think Kira for me is like the only one I can kind of compete with, cause like Haven and Janelle are both wings, so like skill wise, like it's really different, right?
So what about Lily or Katie or Cassidy? Like you
Um,
them as
for
big competition?
I do. I just like for them, like obviously I haven't really played with Cass a lot because she's injured, but like with Katie, like it's kind of like what Lily said. Like I just like it feels like I need to be on top, right? I have to like stay on top of them. They're catching up so fast. They're like basically at my level. Like I almost like don't want to acknowledge that. Like
I
I want
wouldn't say that yet.
to. I feel that way sometimes. Like I'm looking at some of their shots, I'm like, damn, like I can't do that. Like I gotta like step it up.
That's good. That's good though. I think that's something like you guys talked about earlier is that we are a community. And I feel like when we play in our club teams, especially when you see HC1, HC2 play, it's two amazing handball teams, but it's never that I want to kick the other person's butt. It's almost too much respect in the game.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
and then it can also escalate.
Yeah, it just like, like I like that you guys say that. I want that in our program is that like I talk to the younger girls about that is that like you got to want to be better than you two. And then you guys want to be better than the next ones. And that's the only thing that how you guys will push each other to be the best. Because, I mean, like Dawn, go to Saskatchewan, Manitoba next year and you play there. You're going to walk on and be like, who's my challenge? Right? I'm not trying to be rude to them. It just we're a different level. So and stuff. So yeah. So I think that push yourselves and make sure that you guys continue to do that and being leaders. It's like, right now we have the burpee thing. It's making sure as leaders is going on that page and saying, hey, make sure that you guys do it, or whatever it is, like those little things in there. And Haven, I think Haven is incredible at this. Haven cares a lot, but she hates that people know that she cares a lot. And so a lot of things she does that I hear about is that she'll message someone after and say, hey, good game. She'll do those little things. And that's why I think she's so well respected in your generation, is because she does those small things where people are like, oh, that's super nice of her. But you get her on a court and you're like, crap, I do not want to stop her. Because there's nothing more important than her than being the best and winning.
Yeah.
And that's like you said, with Janelle, Kira, them, and then you guys, it's all about, again, Alberta Cup 2 years ago, I think you guys were on the second team and you beat them in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure they didn't take that too lightly. So, but it's interesting. So last thing is, what is I don't know if you heard this or read this. We left CTHF. I don't know if you guys heard about it or.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah, or I think you told me too, but.
Yeah, the post. Does it scare you guys that you're not allowed to play national team or something? So just to make it clear, it has nothing to do with national team. So it doesn't take away you guys being allowed to play national team. If that happened, then we would just pay the membership fee, and then you guys would be able to play. We're just kind of, like there was me as a coach, and then Natalie came in, and Natalie did a great job, and she was building a program, but she questioned things, so she got kicked out. The guys coaches, and so we're just kind of standing up and saying, like, I don't know if you
enough is enough.
The Jackson's parents, who are, Lily, Jackson quite well, and their parents are very successful. So they wanted to join the board to bring more exposure, to bring money to the federation. And some provinces did backdoor deals so they wouldn't be on the board. So we just kind of stood up. So we made a release today. We did a podcast with Tyrell. It's up, and we talk a lot about the AGM and how it was very different, and they didn't allow Saskatchewan to vote and things like that. So just making sure you guys know that it does not affect national team. My goal as a coach is to make you guys the best handball players. And if, like you said, your Pan Am Games goal, as long as I'm here and coaching, I will give you guys 100%. So don't think it's in any way that Alberta does not want you guys to play in those competitions. We just want to see better. We want you guys to have the best coaches for national team, not who's their friend. So no matter what, we'll push you guys. So you guys know that it's nothing to do with you guys not being able to play. If that was the case, they didn't allow you to play, then no European player would be allowed to play in a national team. So Abby wouldn't be able to, or Kim wouldn't be able to. So just so you guys know and stuff. But I want to thank you guys. You guys are some great handball players, but I think most importantly as a coach, it's been such a great ride for me. Obviously coach players, we have relationships. There's going to be ups and downs, but I think you guys are a pleasure to coach. Your generation, you guys, like 5 years, and you guys still come at 7 a.m. Even I know you guys know Olaf. He'll write to me when he sees the Instagram stuff, and he goes, "I need to show this to my players." You guys practice at 7 a.m. I'm like, if it was 6 a.m, they would still be there.
I don't think I would sleep the night before if it was 6 a.m. I was sleeping in the parking lot.
But no matter what, you guys just want to be the best you can, and I think that's important. And like I say, it's that leadership is important for the younger ones, but it's also for you guys to continue to try to be better and try to be the best you can be, and not, there's both of that. I want to be a leader. I want to help these younger ones get better, but it's also being selfish and going, I want to still be the best player. So hopefully in 2 weeks, we're allowed to continue playing handball.
Hopefully.
Week and a half now.
It'll be interesting. I'm I'm trying to stay positive. But I don't know if you read a lot, the justifications of it. Like, if you're going to shut down sports, I understand, but it needs to be all sports. And
All of them, yeah.
Yeah.
and like just different things. How can a university sport continue? So it just,
Mhm.
like, so it's just weird. So we'll see what happens and just try to stay positive and that. Any final things?
I just want to thank you for giving us all the opportunities, like coaching us through these years and helping us just improve and get to where we are right now.
Oh,
And
it's
sticking
you
with
guys.
us.
Like a big part of it. Oh, sorry again.
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Okay.
Thank you, but you know what? Like you guys say, but I think you guys would have been incredible handball players, no matter what. You guys have the drive and the desire to be better. I get lucky a lot of times with players that are special, like you guys, like the older girls, the younger ones. It's when you have the will and the leadership, it's not hard, and that's the important thing. So, but I appreciate it. Okay, so thank you, and hopefully we'll see you guys in a week and a half. It will be the schedule will be the same as it was for Sunday. So in 2 weeks,
All right.
Mavericks. So thank you, and you guys have a great night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it'll be up on Thursday.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.